Habari gani, my nduga na dada. This is your brother, your elder, General Abu Amin Ra. Brothers and sisters, I want to make this video as short as possible and cover the important points that discloses for you the third step in my radicalization. Now, brothers and sisters, this third step begins in the Philippines during my stay as a serviceman in the Air Force at Clark Air Force Base in the Philippines. Now listen, my brothers and sisters, the Philippines was an exciting place. Had guerrillas operating periodically in what they call Huck Mountain back in the day. And had a town there called Angeles, where we servicemen from Clark Air Force Base gathered nightly to do our urban thing. There was a wine they had that I loved. I'll tell you about that wine in a minute. And I like the blunts they could give you to go along with the wine. And I'm also hip to the balut. I'm going to explain to you what a balut is and how I overcame my disdain and hatred and prejudice towards balutes. And then there were the white amber and the black amber. Went to town, drank wine, smoked a few blunts, talked to a few ladies, played the jukeboxes, did some dancing and other things. But then, on the other hand, when we got through doing all of this, they had a bus that would come to the gate, you know. The Air Force property was separate from the Filipino property, you know. Air Force property was restricted to servicemen only and servicewomen. So they had a bus to come up and pick us up at the gate free of charge, and because the barracks were miles from the gate. I mean miles back in the wilderness. And so this was sort of a backdrop to what I'm trying to tell you that was going on in the Philippines. So I remember one night when I was, well, before this really, I conquered a fear I had, a prejudice I had. And this is not meant as any disrespect to Filipino people or their cuisine. But I had fear and doubt and prejudice toward balutes. And I finally conquered that fear and ate one. Now let me tell you what a balut is. A balut is a duck egg. It's fertilized and ready for production. As a matter of fact, it has the little bird in it, but it hasn't hatched yet. So what the people do in the Philippines is they take these eggs before they hatch, just before they're ready to crack them and hatch, and they boil these eggs. And they sell and eat these eggs because it is a nice snack for them. It's a cultural thing. So I was bluffed one night. I said, listen, you think you're bad. So I dare you to eat a balut. I bet you $25 you won't eat a balut. And my salary is only about $125 a month now, and here's a chance for me to make $25. And show how bad and tough I was. So after a bottle of wine, pretty close to a bottle of wine, I took on the bet, got a balut. Lord have mercy on me. You crack that thing, you're supposed to peel it like you do a boiled egg. And that juice off that unborn chicken be dripping all out there and everything. Feathers, you can see the feathers and eat the feathers. So I conquered my mind and said, this doesn't have any taste. It's just a boiled egg. And I crunched it, chewed it up, crunched it, chewed it up until it all was gone. Then the realization of what it was came back in. But I had conquered the fear. I had overcome it on that area. Now, we had a bus that came to the gate to pick us up every night and take us back to the barracks free of charge. So, one particular night, me and about, I guess it was about 5 or 6 other black guys on that bus, soldiers, and maybe 5 or 6 white guys, or maybe a few more, I don't know, Some might have been, other nationalities, but, I was on that blunt and the wine. Well, let me tell you about this wine first. Now, I also conquered the wine, this wine they had. I've forgotten the name of it now, but I can tell you one thing the wine did. When you drink a bottle of that wine, your urine turned green. I mean, almost a fluorescent green. I mean, real green. Yeah, you heard me right. Your urine turns green. So I said, I'm going to do like I want to do. My will be done. So I never stopped drinking it. Get my resolve there, you see. That's my resolve building up in me. But back to the story of this bus. I'm a conquered fear now. You see that? I've displayed that for you. Don't worry about no fear. Okay. I sort of pinpointed who I think my enemy is and all that kind of stuff. So he was on the bus and this is blunt and this wine that turns your urine green. Had me to stand up. I knew got a couple of guys behind me, somebody can always be behind you, got your back covered. And I said, tell you what, that's not to give the exact word now. I'm just, I can't exactly remember exactly what I said. I know the intent of it and what they heard. So I feel like fighting tonight. And I'm going to do this way. Anybody on this bus from Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Louisiana, Tennessee, or South Carolina, speak up if you're on here. White boys never said a mumbling word. Are you listening to me? Then I took it a step further. I said, is anybody in here from below the Mason-Dixon line? You got trouble. I was saying a white boy put his hand up. Anybody from below Ohio? Not a single white boy put his hand up. Now, even though I wasn't that strong and had the power I thought I had or exuded and they thought I had, I did have it in my mind because I had captured and am captured these white GIs' mind. I was in their mind and they displayed total fear of the black man. Fear. See? They thought we 5 or 6 black guys were going to kick their behind. They know we knew the same thing they knew. We had the same training they had. So they weren't going to mess with us. You get it? But anyway, that was my third step in my progress to complete radicalization. But there were steps after that I took, it influenced my life, and I joined up with Dr. Martin Luther King with his struggles down in Montgomery, Alabama, and that kind of stuff. Got captured and held captive all night on the church, going happened at the church by a white mob all night, and those kinds of things. Joined the black Muslims before they were the Nation of Islam. The black Muslim under Mr. Elijah Muhammad have a letter he personally signed and sent to me, welcoming me into the group. Joined that worked with the Panthers, knew Fred Hampton on a personal basis. I went to a college named Laney College, which is a city college in New York on the west side. When Dr. Hirsch was the president there, and Fred Hampton was taking a class, and he was over there every day, proselytizing, getting talks to us, talking about you can kill a revolution, but you can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill a revolution. He said, I am a revolutionary, all right. Woke up early one morning, took calls telling us that Henry Hand and his boys had killed Fred Hampton while he was asleep. Touched bases with RAM and those kinds of groups. Became a member of NCOBRA for reparations. Then I moved on to writing books, doing some research and studying and writing books. So I wrote a couple of books, not bestsellers, but a couple of books on our struggle and what we should do to become victorious. So anyway, I'm still a radical. I'm a radical now, And I believe just as Malcolm did, by any means necessary. Whatever it takes, that's the primary reason, is liberation. And you must be determined to do whatever it takes to have us realize global African liberation. Do you hear me? That's me. I will die. The radical I am, or either one more radical than I am. But I'll never be what we have defined as an Uncle Tom or as one else go along with the Negroes. I turn the other cheek, Negroes. That's gone. That's way beyond me. You get what I'm saying? Once again, y'all, peace and hotep to global African liberation. Peace.